Okay. Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. Today we just wanted to sit down and talk with you basically about why we chose to be stay-at-home moms and the purpose of our channel, or what we want the purpose of our channel to be. And yeah, basically that's just it. We're just gonna have a conversation with you.
And also the fact that we know that even though you choose to be a stay-at-home mom, it doesn't necessarily make it any less difficult, and sometimes you just need some positivity. So whether you're choosing to be a stay-at-home mom, or you're a stay-at-home mom because of financial reasons or anything like that, we just want this to be encouragement and let you know that there are other people out there with a similar thoughts, and show you some of the ways that we have found encouragement and positivity in our roles.
I am blessed to be able to make that choice. I am a nurse and I chose to stay at home. I had a baby girl, she's 18 months old, and so I chose to stay at home with her, and that is a blessing. Having that blessing does not mean that you still don't struggle, and I struggle sometimes with days that aren't so great. I'm like, man, I'm so blessed to be able to do this. I need to be okay with not getting everything done, and with days not being perfect.
Yeah, I think that's something that everybody can say, is that you've set these expectations, you know, from the time you found out you were going to be a mom, or from the time you decided that you were going to stay at the house. You always set these expectations for yourself, and then I know for myself personally, when I set expectations and whenever I don't meet those expectations, it can really bring me down, and you know, I tend to start thinking negatively about myself, or just trying to think of all the things that I could have done better, things like that. So I think that was kind of one of the things we want to talk about, is what our expectations were as a mom. And I think we both kind of agreed that we thought that we were just going to kill it. We had all these expectations of what it was going to be like, and we felt like we were well equipped to kind of go into it and do all these things the right way, and that it would just make our days full of happiness and joy, and we would just have these days where you sit around and you play with your kids and you make all these great memories, and you know, then you actually have the kids and
your house is a mess. You're trying to play with the kids, but there's only so much time in the day, so it's like you want to spend this day playing with the kids, trying to teach them new things, and then I lose track of time, and then it's like, oh, okay, well, I didn't wash the laundry that I wanted to wash. I didn't do XYZ that I wanted to get done today. And then I think that I start to like harp on myself for doing that. So that's something that I struggle with, that I'm trying to say, look, those things are still going to be there tomorrow. I've had to really take a step back and be like, it's okay if there are toys scattered in my living room.
Yeah.
It is okay if some things aren't put away, all the beds aren't made, you know, etc. It's not often that you look at someone who stays at home with their children and think that's a successful person. Or at least not us. Like, you know, I've always kind of viewed success in like monetary basis, or like things that people were able to have or accomplish in their life. And I think that that's something that we need to change, and something that we want to be like part of our little platform, our tiny platform we have here, is we want it to be okay. We want to view it as you are successful, whether you're out making thousands of dollars or you're at home raising good, respectful children. Like there's a quote actually by Andy Stanley, and it says, your greatest contribution to the kingdom of God may not be something you do, but someone you raise. I feel like sometimes we take for granted the fact that, you know, our ministry can be raising children. And when you look back, like some of the greatest preachers and stuff that have reached millions of people, their mom raised them. And your kid could be the next Billy Graham.
I think that's a big encouragement, to know that the work that you do at home does serve a purpose, even if it isn't something that you can immediately see the results of. Like, you poured yourself into your child every single day, you know, trying to teach them manners and good behaviors and respect and love and kindness and things like that. You may not always see it when your kids, you know, pitching a temper tantrum and throwing themselves on the floor. Like, it's not evident in the everyday moments that what you do within the four walls of your home is a very important thing. And like you said, like, it doesn't mean that you have to be a stay-at-home mom doing this all day every day. It could be in those few hours in the afternoon that you are home from work, because we know that not everybody is in a position that they can stay at home with their kids. And I think, like I said, there not being any measure of success on a daily basis is something that I definitely struggled with. I started thinking that, like, okay, making this much money is a sign of success, which I think is fairly common across our entire culture. Everybody just looks at the more money you make, the better your life is. The bigger house you can buy, the nicer the car, the happier you are. And what I've come to learn is that those things do make you happy for a little bit, but then the happiness from that fades away so quickly. Because like I said, I'm a very success driven person, where I wanted to see myself making progress, noticeable progress,
and bring in a paycheck.
Right. And like, you could literally track your progress by the amount of money you were bringing in and things you were able to afford and things like that. And I also struggled with just like what to do with during my day.
It very much is beneficial to have encouragement and people who are in the same stage of life as you surrounding you.
Yeah.
So especially like being at home with children, if you are by yourself in that instance, it can be very hard.
That's what we wanted to say too, is, you know, we kind of wanted to talk about like the expectations of motherhood and then the struggles of it. And one of the struggles is going from being like, whether you think you are or not, you're a selfish person before you have kids. Like, you can literally do what you want. Like, even the things that don't seem selfish, like, you're able to get up and serve yourself. So when you go from being not a mom to being a mom, you have to turn into a self-serving, or, you know, turn away from being a self-serving individual to pouring yourself into somebody else. And that's exhausting, especially when that someone else that you're pouring yourself into is somebody that you love so much. You know, you overanalyze everything. Like, is what I'm doing enough? Am I caring for them properly? Am I loving them enough? Like,
you have to be around people who have like minds as you. We are Christian, and I think that it's very important to me to have support of people who have those same beliefs and those same values.
All right, if we look a little bit different now, it's because the light stand got taken out by a toddler. But
she's a bulldozer sometimes.
We wanted to share a few things too that we have found to encourage us just as a stay-at-home mom, because like we said, sometimes you need that positivity, that thing to kind of reset your way of thinking. And I think that's the main thing with it. Like, there's not going to be a time in motherhood that all of a sudden things just start flowing together perfectly and everything's rainbows and butterflies and all of a sudden it's just good every single day, all day. You're going to have to adjust your thinking. That's all there is to it. So you adjust your expectations, because anytime you're setting expectations for yourself and you don't meet them, you feel like a failure. So
be okay with not bringing in a paycheck every other week. That's a big one for me.
Be okay with not finishing your to-do list.
Yeah,
you know,
I will still be there tomorrow. You'll add more things to it.
But some of the things that I found that help me to kind of adjust my way of thinking and look at things differently is finding podcasts that have content on motherhood. One of my favorite podcasts is called Risen Motherhood. It's one of the ones that I started listening to kind of early on as a mother. It's something that you can listen to while you're doing the dishes or folding the laundry, you know, and it just gives you that little bit of encouragement to maybe adjust your thinking and see that things are going to be okay. It is a Christian podcast, but I'm sure that if you're not a Christian, there are many other podcasts out there that deal with motherhood and the struggles and just giving you positivity in it. I also really like the Journey Woman podcast, the She Proves Faithful podcast. I also think that, like Lauren was saying, like the Facebook group or just finding like-minded friends.
Also YouTube. There's a lot of people on YouTube who are in similar situations to you. And I mean, we can shout out people we watch
Yeah.
right now. Not that they'll ever see our
Megan
YouTube.
at Megan Fox Unlocked, she does a really good job at just bringing positivity to family life. And honestly, she was like a huge motivator as to why we wanted to even start doing this, because it was just so refreshing to see somebody say that they wanted to put family life.
Yeah, and put staying at home with your kids in like a positive light. It's definitely a blessing, and we want to show it as what it is. Like, it's fun, it is educational for your kids, it is educational for you as a mom, but it's also hard.
Yeah.
And it is something that you don't get paid for. A lot of times you don't get thanked for.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
And you'll go to
that's
bed a
life.
lot of nights just feeling flat out defeated and like it was a terrible day and you did nothing right.
We're constantly comparing ourselves as a mom to other moms and to other people, but your child is not comparing you to other moms. Your child sees you, you're their only mom. So we kind of just wanted to end it on explaining to you why we chose the name that we did for our YouTube and why we kind of chose to do this together. First of all, we wanted something to do to kind of fill time and to make us feel like we were doing something. Just one of those things, you know, you struggle with just sitting at home, and this is something that we are able to be at home, but also to do something that feels right. Being at home, we feel like for both of us is kind of our calling right now, so that's kind of why we chose it. And also there's a Bible verse.
If you've read the book of Titus, you've probably heard the verse before, but the verse says they are to teach what is good, so they may encourage the young women to love their husbands and love their children, to be self-controlled, pure, homemakers, kind and submissive to their husbands, so that God's message will not be slandered. And I just thought, you know, that just shows that the work that we do at home is super important to teaching God's message.
So anyway, we just wanted to thank y'all for watching, and thank you to everyone who's already subscribed to our channel. And if you haven't, please go do so. That would be great.
We would appreciate it. That's we intend to make more videos like this in the future. Just something a little more personal to offer encouragement and touch on different topics in motherhood. So if you have anything that you would like to see us talk about, and just, we're not professionals, obviously. We're not trained in any type of special fields, but if you would just like to see our perspective on it, and, you know, feel like you have a friend to talk about things with, leave some comments down below. That's really what we're here for, is just to start a little community of moms who can chat and, you know, share their struggles.
Yeah,
Earthquake!
Don't blame that on Kason.